welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And out in Singapore still, we got Ron.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. We're being quiet because my daughter's asleep in the room next door. Yeah, she's like face first, arm out. She is done. She is so done. So whisper, Ron from Singapore. You're in Singapore what, for just a little bit longer, and you're off to Japan next?
I leave tomorrow, which is good because it's right before the government delegations start getting here for the big USA North Korea summit. And security has been pretty tight in Singapore. They've gotten rid of all the trash cans off the streets.
Have fun with that flight out.
I know. Yeah, right. I'm going to end up at the airport like probably about 4 hours early.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So in this episode, we are just going to cover the last World Cup groups. We got F, G, and H to get through the beers from the said groups, top beers from each nation, as well as the some of the information for each nation. But first off,
the beer.
I got a little beer. Yeah, we got a beer. And this will be a quick one in terms of who we're talking about. It is a brewery that is well known. We've all had it. But Jeff, who actually gave us the sweet rare beer from New York the other day,
that's right.
I recommended this to him while he was still on vacation. It is a brewery well known. I saw the can and meant to get it, and I forgot. And so the other day, my wife was at the grocery store. She goes, "You want any beers?" Yeah, can you snag this? I forget what it's called, but it looks like this. It's like a blue can with like yellow spray painted on it or whatever. And it is one of the most shockingly different good IPAs I've ever had.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
And I'll reveal why in just a second. But this is from the very lovely and well-known Sierra Nevada Brewing Company.
Okay. Heard of them.
And this is their hazy little thing IPA. Here you go, Ferris. Meant to be enjoyed in a can. And it's whenever Sierra Nevada puts something new out, I like to try it. This particular one, it says, "We're consistently brewing new IPAs. Looking for bold hop flavor with this beer. Our brewers thought it was so good that we decided to serve it straight from the tanks, unfiltered." So this is a cloudy IPA. It's unprocessed and raw. To let all the fruit-forward hop flavors shine, the result is a hazy beer with modest bitterness and intense hop character. To some, making an unfiltered hop bomb may seem crazy, but to us, it's a hazy little thing called IPA. And it's, again, Sierra Nevada Brewing Company from California and North Carolina. They brew in now. And this thing caught me by surprise. So it's a little cheating. Usually we try something we all three haven't had, but this was so good, I wanted to bring it in on the show.
I do like on the can, it says family owned, operated, and argued over.
Exactly. And plus, I wanted to make sure I had a beer that wasn't so rare Ron couldn't get one when he came back.
Right.
That would be mean. Like if we did the worldwide style today, that'd have been cruel.
That would have been awesome, though.
It's true.
All right, so here we go. Can you smell that, dude? Ron, this thing smells like you opened
Holy mackerel.
a pack of hops. Like
Yeah, it did.
fresh. Super fresh.
Wow.
So let me ask you before you take a sip.
Okay.
Before we cheers here, what do you expect that to taste like with all the hops? Because it's super, man, it does smell like you're holding a handful of hot pellets.
I think it's going to punch me in the face at first.
All right.
A little hot punch. And then it's going to ease out. May have a little bit of citrus notes in there.
I think you're going to be shocked. Because I think you're right, but I don't think you know how right you might be. Here we go.
Okay,
Cheers, man.
Awesome. That's interesting.
There's no punch.
You're right. I was expecting it.
So, Ron, you crack this, and it smells like you are running your hands through a barrel of hops. It is. I cracked it open the first time. I was like, "Oh, woo! This is gonna be." It smells.
The punch is hollow.
Yeah, it smells like it is gonna be like a pine tree peeling your teeth off.
Yeah,
with citrus.
Right.
You drink it. It's like a smooth, like a smooth malty beer or something. There is no hop bitterness punch like at all.
Is it sweet?
It's not sweet.
No, it's not.
It's just that there is, with this much aroma, you expect a lot of bitter, and there's none.
Right.
It's like no more bitter than you'd have in like a lager.
Yeah, there is.
I was just wondering if the malt were really balancing it out by putting in a super sweetness.
No, because it's not like when you have like a Dale's Pale Ale where you kind of got the bitter and the sweet hitting you. There's just no bitter, man. There's no bitter.
Gotcha.
I know. I heard that too.
Yeah.
I heard that the monitor a little. We'll see.
She's agreeing on what Ron had to say about the beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's agreeing with Ron.
It's very light.
Yeah, it is. It's like a light hop beer, which is an insane thing to say.
But is that because it's what did you say? It was unfiltered?
Yeah, it's completely unfiltered. It's like a raw. So I don't know if there's that. I don't know if it's the yeastiness in it because of the. I don't know, but it just caught me off guard. And is a very different flavor than what I expected. 6.7% alcohol by volume. Which
not a lot for an IPA.
But I think this could catch up on you because it doesn't punch you in the face. So you could quickly
sipping and sipping.
You could sit by the pool and be very in trouble.
Be very in trouble.
Sip your way to inebriation.
Yeah. Now, before we get to the World Cup stuff, because I do have a ticking time bomb of a sleeping daughter next door. But Ron, did you take your beer trip?
So I didn't get to all of the ones I wanted to get to. I went to a couple of them, and there's quite an interesting craft brew culture brewing up here in Singapore. I went to Red Point. I went to.
What was that last one? Sorry, you cut out. You went to where after Red Point?
Brew Works.
Oh, okay.
And I was happy with all the beers they had. Brew Works has about 11 beers on tap, all made here in Singapore. And the styles range anywhere from American IPAs, which their American IPA is a lot sweeter than the American IPA style, but so it's kind of like a Singapore American more than it is just an American. But they also have you ever heard, and I had not and had to look it up, but they have a white stout.
A white stout?
I have never heard of that.
So a white stout looks like it looks like a Hefeweizen. So when they brought it to me, and I was like, "What?" I ordered the white stout, and they were like, "Yep, this is it. It looks like a Hefeweizen, but tastes and has the mouthfeel of a stout."
That's weird.
It's insanely weird.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, you should look it up because there's this. So what I did was, very long story short, I went home. I was like, I've never heard of a white stout. So I went and looked it up, and there's quite the craft beer battle sort of raging because craft beer enthusiasts who are stout fans are saying a white stout is not a stout because part of it is that it's got to be dark, and other people say no, it doesn't have to be. Guinness is getting ready to make a white stout. It's very interesting because when you drink it, you do not get what you expect. It's a very pale beer, but it's phenomenal. So I thought the next time that I'm in the studio, I may have a surprise for all of you, as long as it doesn't get confiscated in the airport.
Well, hopefully the Singaporean or Japanese TSA folks don't catch any white stout within the confines of Ron Keller's belongings.
Well, we are allowed to transport alcohol, but it has to be under a certain amount, and it has to, you've got to declare it and all this other crap. So I'm going to give it a whirl. I've never brought any alcohol. Well, that's not. Is that true? I can't remember. I think I brought us. No, I didn't bring us beer back from Norway, did I? I just brought the bottle.
No, you brought the bottle and the glasses. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because I had to slug it at the airport. That's right. So I'm going to try and bring us some beer back, and we'll see what happens. But I encourage everyone to look up the white stout online. Beer Advocate has stuff on news on it. There's all these beer bloggers like the Beer Baron, who is a kind of a beer blogging website. And they adamantly say white stout is neither white nor a stout. And then, so it's pretty interesting. If you've never had one, go look for them. They're out there.
Interesting. Yeah, one of the first articles that pop up when you type in white stout is the delicious deception of white stouts.
Yeah. So and they are the one I had is very good. It's just not what you expect when you drink it, because you can't get over looking at that pale Hefeweizen looking beer.
It definitely kind of messes with your mind. It says the recipe, a white stout is created as a result of omitting dark roasted malts from the grain bill and replacing them with cold steeped coffee, cacao nibs, and vanilla beans.
It's weird because without the roasted, it does feel like maybe it's not a stout. I don't care though. It's beer and I want to try it.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about it. You call it whatever you want. I just want to try it, man.
Still beer.
This is a floral smelling IPA that I expected to taste like pine needles, but it don't, and it's still tasty. God, this beer is actually really
doesn't have the punch of an IPA.
This is a poolside IPA.
Oh yeah, this is a dangerous drinking IPA.
So should we plow on into the World Cup?
Sure.
Do it.
I feel like Ferris and I have each started a night off, so I feel like it's Ron's turn to start off.
I'm okay with that.
Right? With the
What am I starting off?
for
you have a good team to start off
Group
with.
F.
Oh, okay, sure. So Group F. Ugh. This is going to be a fun group to watch for surprisingly 3 of the teams.
Well, this could be the World Cup of Death. This could be the Group of Death. I'm hearing a lot of pundits call this that.
Yeah, I think this is going to be for it to be a Group of Death. I think all 4 teams have to be tough, and really only 3 out of the 4 are going to be tough.
Obviously, the first one you're about to cover is a slouch.
Yeah,
They're
the
mugs.
first one that I'm about to cover is really lacking any formidable talent in the soccer world. Group F, Germany. Here we go.
A bunch of mugs.
Germany, of course, heavily favored to take this World Cup by their technical skill and the fact that they never take their foot off the pedal. They're the Group C winners in European qualifying. Players of note, Thomas Muller. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Marco Reus. Thank you. And Timo Werner, along with Tony Cruz. Their games start on the 17th with Mexico on the 17th, Sweden on the 23rd, South Korea on the 27th.
And let's be honest, you probably could have named about 12 more players off of the roster.
You absolutely can. Just looking at the World Cup squad, you have Manuel Neuer, Marc-Andre Stegen, Kevin Trapp. That's just their goalies. Okay? I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of them. Jerome Boateng, Mats Hummels, Joshua Kimmich, Antonio Rudiger, Nicolas Sol. That's a handful of their defenders. Sami Khedira, Sebastian Rudy, Mesut Ozil, Leon Goretzka, Julian Draxler, Mario Gomez. I mean, it goes on. So much so that the PFA Young Player of the Year in the Premier League and Leroy Sané didn't make the squad.
That's so crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. How do you not bring Leroy Sané? But I guess it's because you have, world class instead of Premier League-ish class. I mean, is there really that kind of separation? But yeah, there is.
Insane squad. And then
Well, hold on now. We need to get to the beer before we dive too deep.
Oh, right.
Sorry. Yeah, I guess I should have said again. For each team, we'll cover the how they got qualified, how our top players of note, and the top rated beer produced from the country.
Yes,
according to ratebeer.com.
Yes, and all I was going to say was Germany are the current World Cup holders.
Yes.
For those of you out there that
because they are
correct
4 years ago,
because they beat Brazil 7-1.
Not in the finals game,
No, I know.
but yes, that helped to get them there. They beat Argentina, if memory serves.
Yes,
correct. And actually, the goal scorer who won that game is actually not in this squad now, and his name is eluding me.
Oh, it's an interesting name.
Interesting name, yeah, but he's not in the squad. So, current World Cup holders, Germany.
So the best beer, according to ratebeer.com, for the German nation is the Eigner Celebrator. It's a Doppelbock.
And one we've had on the show, right? We've had this. It has the little goat hanging off of it.
Man, I have to go back and look in the beer blog and see.
That.
I thought we'd had this. I've had this before, if we hadn't.
I'll have to go back and check in the beer blog. It sounds familiar. Eigner definitely sounds familiar. Whether or not we had it on the pod.
Yeah, I don't think we had it on the pod. I'm looking at it right now, and the bottle doesn't look familiar. So you may have just had it on your own, but I don't think we've had it on the pod yet.
Yeah, we've definitely had it.
And that's from Bavaria. A beer from Bavaria. You got to love it.
How do you say that brewery?
I have no... Well, I'm sure that means brewery in German, how it's spelled. B-R-A-U, so brow. E-R-I-E is probably some sort of Irie. So I have no idea. Sorry, all of my German friends. I'm butchering brewery.
I've definitely seen it, but I don't think we've had it on the pod.
Ron and I did at a random party years ago.
Go. Good Lord.
Because I remember the little goat hanging off of it. I'm sending Ron a picture now so he can see it. Little goat hangs off the bottle, little plastic goat.
Yes,
and it was some party, and everybody had crappy beer, but we brought good beer. That's what we tried.
So much so that it's the best rated beer from Germany.
Yeah. Been a long time, though. We'll have to get this one.
Cool.
I can't think of any parties we've done that to, Blake.
I mean, it was my living in Orlando 1.0 in the early 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s.
I was being sarcastic.
Circa 05.
Oh, I do remember that label.
Yeah, you remember? Yeah, we've had it before. Been a while. We'll have to get that back on the show now that we know that, because there's only so many of these I think we can actually get on the show.
Oh, yeah.
So, I will.
Challenge accepted.
Exactly. Do we have anything else? Was it Germany? I will.
No, they should be one of the favorites. Can they repeat? I don't know if they can, but it'll be interesting to find out.
I would say that if there is a weakness in the German team, it is probably the fitness. And when I say that, I mean the stamina of the team.
You ain't talking about fitness whole beer in my mouth.
Damn it.
Oh, man.
Terrible.
At least it's not plate tectonic jokes.
Oh, yeah. Terrible.
Although I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but online there is a gentleman from Hawaii, and he is saying that there is no such thing as a volcano. Lava is real, but there is no such thing as volcanoes.
Is it because the Earth's flat too?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yep.
I got a lot of compliments about my science joke off the last pod, so whatever.
You had a few in that pod.
It was largely entertaining. But so I think their fitness, specifically the stamina, could be a bit of an issue. I think where they fix it, though, is in the depth of the squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're by far, along with probably France and Argentina, one of the deeper squads for sure.
Yeah, anybody that comes off that bench is scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I agree.
Who's
next?
I will take on the next. All of us are losing when it comes to pronunciations in this one, so it doesn't matter. This group's a tough one for all of us. So I will take on Mexico, apologizing again for my poor Spanish, or let's just say lack of any Spanish. Group winners in CONCACAF. Hector Herrera, that's how they qualified. Our players of note are Hector Herrera, Jesus Corona, Guillermo Ochoa, and Javier Hernandez.
Chicharito.
That's right, Chicharito. And let's see, they kick off against Germany. That's their opening game.
That's a tough game.
But actually, that's a pretty decent run, though. They go Germany. I mean, as far as this group is concerned, it's Germany, then South Korea, and then Sweden is the order in which they are
that's
playing.
Not a bad way.
If you're in this group, that might be one of the better lineups to try and get out of this group. And their best beer from the country. I was doing okay until we got here. Insurgente Chesovesa. It's an imperial stout. Again, with the imperial stouts. I would not have guessed that from Mexico, but we've had a lot of these in this World Cup coverage we've been doing. But Cerveza Insurgente, it's in Tijuana. Man, we need to get a hold of this one. It's in Mexico. We should be able to get this.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Ron, but before you come home, just fly there first, pick this up, and then come back.
I'll do my best.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mexico, not a bad club. Not a bad group of players they have for their nation, I should say. Club, the wrong one. But
very good players. They're going to be interesting. They are definitely one of the favorites to get out of the group. Favorites to go far. I don't know. Interesting squad. I think one of the things that makes them interesting is their head coach currently. They've remember throughout this qualifying, they've changed their coach a couple of times, and right now it's Juan Carlos Osorio. He was appointed in October 2015. He was an assistant to Stuart Pearce at Man City before starting coaching in Colombia, because he's not Mexican, he's Colombian. It'd be interesting to see. In Mexico, a lot of the times, it doesn't fall on their players, it falls on the manager. So they're really under fire when they're leading this team. So it'd be interesting to see how he does and how he responds to the media coming out of Mexico. Because say they get just walloped in the first game. It'd be interesting to see how he responds and how the team responds to that.
Yeah, because for the way the Mexican national team runs, if he's a bad first game, they'll have a new coach the next game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's entirely possible. I think the biggest strength for Mexico and where it'll be interesting to watch them play Germany is Mexico's defense is definitely their strength. They are good at holding the ball up in the defensive part of the midfield, and the defense, it has a lot of very, very quick players. They see the field very well and they play well as a team. That I think is their biggest strength, but that also leads into their biggest weakness is they don't really control the midfield very well. So from the attacking side of the midfield, they turn over the ball very easily, and they don't apply very much pressure in that midfield. So in their match against Germany, they're giving Germany a very big leg up by not being able to control that midfield.
Yeah, and I think going along the line of their defense, they have a very solid keeper in there as well as Guillermo Ochoa. And you'll see him. He has that kind of flowy afro-ish hair that's coming out. You know, he's a good shot stopper, quick off his line. He definitely adds to that back. And it's going to be interesting because, again, they start off with Germany, not the easiest of opponents, but they get something out of that or don't get walloped too bad, then get points in the next games and you can see them advance, and who knows how much further after that.
It'll be interesting to see, and I will say that Chicharito has to have. I feel like it's now or never for Chicharito.
Yeah, and not just the poaching stuff. Like he's got to show up, man.
Yeah, he has to really lead the line there. They're going to depend on him for goals.
He's got to make those shots when he is one-on-one with a keeper. He's going to have to find a way to put those balls in the back of the net. He can't just lazily drop that ball near the near the keeper like he has been doing, for the past, I don't know. I feel like that was his entire season this past season. So he's really going to have to stand up because all these keepers he's going to face are world class.
All right, Ferris. Next one's yours, buddy. Easy.
Why did you have me choose this one? Well, you had me choose to cover Sweden, yet one of my favorite players of all time, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic,
on the squad.
Not on the squad.
Nope. No, he's too busy in LA.
I feel like this was planned. But Sweden, they qualified without Zlatan, as we just said. They qualified of a 1-0 aggregate over Italy in European playoffs.
Knocking Italy out of the World Cup.
Big shock. So they 1-0 tells you it was a defensive game. Some of their key players of note is the first one is kind of a debut to this squad, but it is Ola Tovian. Plays for Sunderland, I believe. No, lies. He plays for Toulouse. He plays up front. Sebastian Larsson. He plays for Hull City. And then Emil Forsberg, who plays for RB Leipzig. Those are kind of their standouts there. You also have Gustav Stevenson, plays for the Seattle Sounders. So some good names there. Fairly strong squad. And they have a favorable draw, I think, in terms of the games they play. They play South Korea first, Germany, and then end on Mexico. So if they can get some points early in the South Korea game and then build off of that and maybe get a point in Germany, you could see them moving through. But I think one of their strong spots in the team, kind of like what Ron was talking about with Mexico, is their defense. They have Martin Olsen back there, Victor Lindelof back there. They'll be the two that you'll see start a lot and get a lot of playing time. I think the real question is, can Tovian put the ball in the back of the net? At 31 years old, it's his first World Cup. It's going to be interesting to see if he can deliver without Zlatan up there.
So where do you really think the goals are going to come from? That's my biggest question. Really,
it's gonna be,
they don't.
Tovian is the one that's going to have to do that. Andreas Granzvist, skipper. Maybe he gets some set piece dead ball goals, but
these guys are
it's going to rely on Tovian and Emil Forsberg, and that's it.
I think they're going to celebrate the fact that it was cool they knocked out Italy to get in, but that's probably going to be about it.
Possibly.
Did you do the beer?
I did not do the beer yet. Here we go. Omnipolo Siren David Strachan L'Oreal?
Lorelei?
Is that Lorelei? That makes it's a barrel aged extra maple. It's an imperial porter.
That's cool.
Yeah. From Omnipolo in Stockholm. So that's a really long name of a beer, but barrel aged extra maple. That sounds delicious.
It sounds like syrup.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I mean, I want to have some pancakes and drink this beer.
Why
an imperial porter that is extra maple.
Yeah, that's going to be heavy.
That sounds like syrup.
Well, it's aged extra maple, which might just mean that it's aged in maple barrels. It might not actually have anything to do with the syrup, potentially.
True, yeah.
No, I don't mean that it's going to, it was aged in syrup. I just think it's going to be one of those really thick, heavy mouthfeel type beers.
I'm all about it. Bring it on, Sweden.
Is a meal.
Bring it on. Well, I have given myself a hard last group to pronounce. Again, I apologize because I have South Korea next for the last one here in our group F.
Wait, didn't you skip Ron?
No.
Ron went first with Germany.
No, wait, you're right. I thought I went first. You're right.
Right, yeah. Wait, then you got a really cool name of the beer, though. Read that name of the beer and tell me that's not a cool name.
Yeah, you just got to get to the rest of it first. Sorry, right. Ron. I did. I overstepped my bounds.
Oh, yeah. You're so sorry about it. So South Korea, the Group A runners-up in Asian qualifying, is how they obviously how they qualified. Players of note: Kuja Chol, Ki-sung Young, and San Hung Min are their key players. And their first match is Sweden on the 18th. The next match is Mexico on the 23rd, and then they close out with Germany on the 27th.
That's rough.
Yeah, but that's a nice. I mean, to have Sweden first helps. The Mexico and the end on the hardest team. I like it.
Yeah, if they are going to do well in this World Cup, I think this schedule favors them.
This is
because I feel like they have a better chance against Sweden versus any of the other two, and so they can build some momentum going into that Germany game.
This is just a really hard group to get out of.
That's why a lot of people think it's the group because South Korea, they're no mugs. They're good. They're pretty good, and they have some talent kind of all over the pitch there. They don't have a lot of depth, but they do have some outstanding talent. So, like I said, if they get something out of the Sweden game, that has to be a win. I think. I don't think that could be a draw. Then who knows?
Well, I don't. While yes, they are not a slouch team. They are currently, as of April 12th, they were ranked 61st in the FIFA World Rankings. They lost their last international friendly, which is not necessarily an indicator, but I don't think they're as tough as many people think.
Well, they'll find out come June 27th against Germany.
Well, I mean, not many teams in the world are going to stand up against Germany.
True.
The beer from South Korea, as the best beer from South Korea, according to ratebeer.com, who does not sponsor us. We just keep saying it so that you know where to go and where we got our facts. The Booth Throat Punch Imperial IPA, which has got a great name. The Booth Brewing Company, which is in Seoul, Korea, South Korea.
Booth Throat Punch might dethrone the Degustator.
I don't know. I like the Degustator
because Booth Throat Punch also sounds like something your grandpappy would have made in a glass jar that you and the Duke boys had to smuggle across county lines. The Booth Throat Punch.
Hey, want to come to my party out here in the woods? We got some Booth Throat Punch in the tub.
Yeah, except down in Georgia, they call it the John Wilkes Booth Throat Punch.
Yeah. First it's science, and now it's history.
Yep, there you go. The Booth Throat Punch. What was the other one? Ram Boat.
Ramjet. Whoa, Tucker. Oh, sorry.
Oh, the dog just almost.
Tucker just slid right down the old legs there.
The dog was sitting in his lap and just poured off like a.
It was the Ramjet boat rocker, I think of what it was.
Yeah.
A boat rocker Ramjet whiskey barrel aged imperial stout
and
from Australia.
Still, the best name was the Winter Melancholy, just for the pure name so far.
Yeah, from Russia.
Yeah. Well, and then also the Mean Sardine was a good one.
Oh, right, the Mean Sardine. How do we get so many redneck sounding names out of these international beers?
Your Brewtiful Game beer bracket is covered in them. The Degustator is still my favorite. Beer Geek Vanilla.
I was showing that to people at work, going, "How would you say this word? How would you say this word?"
It's Degustator.
They go Degustator. I was like, do it with a southern accent. They're like, oh my gosh.
It was meant for that.
So we shall move on to Group G. Ferris, you can start this one off?
Yeah, so I'll go, Ron, and then that way Blake can end on one of his teams of the World Cup, and then I can end on one of my teams for the World Cup. How does that sound?
Love it.
All right. Group G. Start off with a powerhouse, Belgium.
Well, how do you get their best beer? It's like Germany's.
Right.
They have so many.
Yeah, and I'm good luck. I don't know how the hell I'm going to say this, but Belgium qualified as Group H winners in European qualification. They have another star-studded team. Just a couple of names from that team include Toby Alderweireld, Eden Hazard, Romelu Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne.
They're good guys. Also. Yeah.
They're my other team to come out. I'm going for them in Iceland.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick there, Ron, because they have a lot of talent on this Belgium team, and coached by a name that a lot of people know here in the States, as he was on the last World Cup coverage. I believe.
He had just lost his job at Everton and was doing the coverage.
World Cup coverage. Roberto Martinez. So can he lead this very star-studded team and have them? I think the biggest thing for them is can they be consistent? It's not that they're gonna not score goals or not play nice football. It's can they be consistent? Not just in the group stages, but as they go into the knockout rounds, can they finish out games by playing a consistent 90-ish minutes each game? That's going to be key.
Yep.
So many stars. I'm excited to see how Kevin De Bruyne does on the World Cup stage.
Well, what's pretty good is in the international friendlies that are happening is the warm up to the World Cup. Belgium just annihilated Egypt 3-0. And with that kind of talent on the field, you would expect so. But Romelu Lukaku becomes Belgium's all-time leading scorer.
Yeah.
In his in the team's win over Egypt, goals from Lukaku and Hazard put them past Egypt. They look like a fierce team. They control that midfield really well, and it's interesting because I feel like Lukaku plays different in international games than he does in the Premier League, because he was good in creating chances, not just standing around waiting for the ball to get to him, making smart runs and holding up the ball when needed. And his shots were well timed, and I'm excited for these.
And yeah, I mean, it's a little bit. I mean, it's nice when you have Dembele and De Bruyne feeding you the ball, and then you have Hazard, Carrasco, Dres Mertens coming off your side. It's a lot of threat up front there. But yeah, he plays very well for Belgium.
Yeah, I think he's much more energetic in the international and much more ambitious in international games. I just watch him in the next game, and I feel like he does something different. And maybe it's in the coaching of what they expect from him in international play versus the Premier League. But I feel like I look at Lukaku and go, oh, that's why everybody says he's good. I don't necessarily see that all the time when I'm watching him in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just because Lukaku is a frustrating player because he should be consistently so good. Big, strong, quick, everything that a center forward should be. But going through the Premier League this year, he wasn't that way. And even in some spouts with Belgium, he hasn't been that way. He's their leading goal scorer, but I don't think he really had a whole lot of ways to go to be their top goal scorer.
No, that's true. But while I watched their all of the international friendlies are playing here in Singapore. So when I'm working in my hotel room, I throw on the international friendlies and I get some work done. He's just different when he's playing internationally. You don't see him make runs. You don't see normally. Of course, he's a center forward, so he does make runs. But he's much more the cherry picking type. And in the Premier League, anyway, here he's much more active, which is from only watching him in the Premier League is very uncharacteristic. And in the Premier League, he has that title of being I forget what the English slang term for it was, but essentially it's you don't show up for any of the tough teams. You only show up for, the lower table teams. And he wasn't like that in the last international friendly. Smart, decisive play, great link-up play, uncharacteristic for the Premier League player. So just keep an eye out.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's amazing. I'm not saying he's terrible. I'm just saying he tends to play differently in international play than Premier League play.
Well, and I think going to the point earlier is he needs to be consistent. He needs to have exactly what you're talking about, and he needs to do that every single game of this tournament. If he does that, Belgium have a strong case to go a long ways in this World Cup.
Right.
To cover their beer, we have the Westvoltarian, number 12.
I'm disappointed in you, Ferris.
What I butcher names.
We have had this beer on the pod.
Yeah.
Have we?
It's one of the top rated beers in the world.
Westvoltaren 12.
Westvoltaren 12.
It's a quad from St. Sixtus in Westvoltaren, Belgium.
Yep.
And
yes, we have.
Friend of the pod, Sarah, was over there.
Yes, you're
and
right.
Brought us back a bottle.
You're right.
You have besmirched her good name, sir.
You know I have Alzheimer's. Come on. You are right. I'm looking at it online here. Yeah, sorry. I apologize.
You owe Sarah the apology, not me.
Sarah, I apologize.
It isn't a great beer, though.
It is.
It's a hard one to...
It is arguably the hardest beer to get on this list.
That's right. And we've had it. That is correct. Wow, my apologies. Thank you for calling me out on that one, Ron. And just for that, you get to introduce Panama.
I know. If I'd have been a stitch quicker, I could have done Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
So Panama, also in Group G, they finished third in CONCACAF, and that was enough to get them here. Players of note, Jamie Pinedo, Gabriel Gomez, and Roman Torres are probably the amount of their standouts. I think they have a tough schedule up front, even though Panama is a pretty decent team. Belgium on the 18th, England on the 24th, Tunisia on the 28th.
Ooh, that is the toughest one in this group by far.
Yeah, I agree. Their beer, I'm gonna probably butcher. Casa Bruja Teluvia. It's an imperial IPA from Casa Bruja Brewing in Panama City.
That's not too bad.
I think I did all right.
Yeah, I think you did all right.
It may not be terrible.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Panama finishing third, did so on the back of U.S. crashing out. And they had barely enough to get in. And I think come the first game against Belgium, they'll shortly be flying home. Because I don't see them going too far. Especially Belgium, England, Tunisia. So
yeah,
we'll see. But if they can kind of close up shop and not let too many goals go by, and maybe nick one or two off of a counter or a set piece, who knows?
Yeah, the coolest thing about Panama is their nickname, and that is the Red Wave. So that's nice. Pretty cool. What a good nickname. But I think their biggest weakness is a complete lack of world stage experience.
Yeah.
So
very true.
I think those games that become pressure it's going to be a pressure cooker for them. And again, like you said, they're going to have European powerhouses to play against. I don't really see them winning very much.
No.
Or this could be the new Iceland. Because nobody thought Iceland was going to do anything in the Euros. And they had a bunch of basically no-name players. I mean, they had a few, but everybody was, by and large, unknown.
Yeah, I don't see that with Panama, though. Sorry.
Let's move on to the next one. Well, first things first, Ferris.
Oh, yes, please.
It's Ron still early morning, but it's not for us. So have another hazy little thing IPA
called IPA
from Sierra Nevada again. Ooh,
God bless you.
Such a good one. All right, gents. Well, next up here we have Tunisia.
Where's your shirt there?
Yeah, I know. I should be wearing my Tatooine FC, or is it Mos Eisley FC? No, it's Tatooine. It's Tatooine United. Yes, Tunisia. Blake's one of his other nations he's followed since it is home to the real Tatooine, where they filmed the Tatooine desert planet portions of Star Wars: A New Hope.
Nerd alert.
Yup. So for Tunisia, they were Group A winners of Africa qualifying. Their players of note are Ali. Oh, I'm going to mess these up too. Ali Malaus, Youssef Maskini, and Wabi Karzi. I don't know how bad I did. Again, I apologize.
Wabi Karzi is probably the name a lot of people have heard the most. Used to play for Sunderland, I want to say. And then when they went down, he went over to Rennes in France. You're going to need a lot from him in this World Cup to get anything out of this group.
Well, yeah, and I'll just give you a little perspective there. Their World Cup best have been group stages in 78, 98, 2002, 2006. And after appearing at 3 consecutive finals without winning a single group game, Tunisia missed the last 2 editions. But they've been unbeaten in qualifying from the Congo to Russia, which doesn't necessarily say a lot.
No, I mean, they did top the group, and you can only win and play who's in front of you. So
absolutely,
yeah.
They currently ranked 14 in the FIFA World Rankings. So,
but a lot of people are predicting them to end below Panama in this group and be last as well, though.
True.
So we'll have to see there. Their beer caught me by surprise. Their style, anyway. It's a Gothbrau Dunkel. A Dunkel Tmavi. It's from the Gothbrau Brewing, I guess is what that means. Mm-hmm. But it's a Dunkel. It's very German style beer that I don't know what I was expecting out of Tunisia, but I wasn't necessarily speaking that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
man, we've really got to go on the hunt to try and get as many of these as we can.
Apparently, we've already had one, and I just
warning though,
the best one on here.
If you order the best beer we can at least get from countries, but don't get the beers from Russia that are available. At least were available until recently at like your Total Wine. They're all bad. Now, maybe the one we saw that they rated is good, but in terms of what actually makes it to the U.S., they were rough, man. They were rough.
I bet.
Yeah, they gave you a melancholy hangover. That's what happened.
And it wasn't even winter.
But yeah, a lot of folks not really predicting Tunisia to do very well. I mean, most people putting Panama at 3rd and Tunisia finishing 4th. That maybe could go either way. Really, but they got.
Yeah, I think their fitness is going to be one of their biggest weaknesses.
Oh yeah.
And the other weakness that's hovering right around there is really where are the goals coming from?
Well, and especially
their midfield is good, but their attacking play is not really that good.
Meskini and Kawazi, they're going to have to produce goals. It's going to be tough, but to give them any sort of a chance, they're going to have to produce goals.
But especially being in a group that contains Belgium and the other club we're going to get to, or other nation we're going to get to in just a second. It's a tough group to be in.
Yep.
Last team in this group, a team a lot of you probably have heard of, and a lot of players on the team you probably have heard of, the England squad. Group F winners in European qualifying. To go through the various names that are on this England squad include Kyle Walker, Marcus Rashford, Dele Alli, Harry Kane, who just signed a 6-year deal today to extend his contract.
Oh yeah, I saw that. See that, Ron? 6-year deal.
So he's not going to Madrid. But you also have Jamie Vardy, Danny Welbeck, Raheem Sterling, Ashley Young, Phil Jones, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Gary Cahill, Harry Maguire, Jordan Pickford, Nick Pope, Jack Butland. Those are their goalies. I think that's kind of where you could see the lack of international experience and possibly one of their downfalls in the tournament is they don't really have, there's no more Joe Hart. So they don't really have an experienced goalie on the World Cup, even European stage. When Jack Butland, Pickford, and Pope all had very good years in the Premier League, but it's a little bit different when you're playing on your own island opposed to playing in front of the world. So who knows? But a favorable games in the group, Tunisia, Panama, and then end on Belgium. So they win the first 2 games. They're golden and they're good. And just like with England, it's going to really come down to, can they live up to any sort of expectations? That seems to always be there, at least in the past few tournaments. They have tons of talents. They've had the Lampard years with Rooney. I'm currently wearing a England Rooney kit. Rooney. Can they live up to this hype? And can they live up to the hype in a very quick to turn, non-positive thinking media? They're just brutal, and their fans are just brutal on them. So, they really don't expect anything less than a semifinals berth. Well, so a lot of get knocked out in the first knockout game. It's going to be the storm on them.
Well, that's very true.
I think
because they have the talent.
I think as long as they can just shake that off, I think they'll be fine. I think what hurts them and what has hurt the England squad in international play for kind of as long as I can recall is that there is no, at least from my perspective, there is no identity in the squad. They're always trying to, well, in the past, they were always trying to fit their gameplay around Wayne Rooney. But past that, there was no real identity. There was no sense of self in this squad. And I think that could be an issue here.
And I think Gareth Southgate is trying to set that identity by naming Harry Kane their captain. He is the new talisman for this team. Plain and simple. Yeah. He scores goals. He galvanizes the team. He's the man.
Well, and their manager, the name, you just...
Gareth Southgate.
Southgate.
Yeah, Southgate. He, in the last interview I saw, he really was focused at what you just kind of an identity, and that his identity was to push England to be more like tea, specifically English tea, because English tea actually stays in a cup.
You're terrible. Terrible. I was wondering where you're going with it.
As soon as he said tea, I was like, oh, here it comes.
I was going to... You're such a dad. I was going to say, I actually like Southgate. I like his interviews. I like his mentality. I like that he's trying to bring younger players into the squad.
Look up the tea interview. It's a good interview.
I hate you. I do want to share with everybody, though, a excerpt from the Encyclopedia Blazertanica from the Men in Blazers on the former England coach before Gareth Southgate. Allardyce Sam. A walking morality tale as a man who spent his life dreaming of becoming England manager only to be forced to resign within 67 days after advising undercover reporters on how to break the laws of the game in return for lucrative kickbacks. His rise and fall are even more remarkable when you consider his body consists of 73% ham products and resembles the bastard offspring that would result if a hippopotamus made love with a steak and kidney pie. Brought to you by the Men in Blazers and their Encyclopedia Blazertanica.
That book is fantastic.
Yeah, if you haven't read that, give it a whirl. It's full of very funny and useful, insightful tips.
Oh, but that's yeah. I think England's going to do better than probably the English media and fans think.
But it doesn't matter. When they inevitably lose, though, they'll
right, because they're always going to have to live up to the 1966 World Cup winning team.
How many stars do you have on that?
Just that one. Just that one. Exactly right. Yeah. So
Germany's kit's about to fall off because there's so many stars on
There are only stars on it.
Right. Yeah. But if they do go back to England quickly, they can enjoy some Old Chimney's Good King Henry Special Reserve.
That's such an English name for that's their beer.
It is. That is their
Old Chimney's Good King Henry Special Reserve.
And what can you say it in your Jamie Vardy voice?
But what kind of beer is it?
It's an Imperial Stout.
Another one. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Hey, come on, boys. We're getting Old Chimney's Good King Henry Special Reserve. Hey, from Suffolk. Chips on the plane. Suffolk. That's just for Tony. Sounds good. Old Chimney's Good King Henry Special Reserve on the plane and chips. In Suffolk.
Mrs. Miggins, what is her favorite? Is her beer going to be a Imperial Stout?
Mrs. Miggins, Tennant's, dude. Cheap old lager.
Yeah,
that's her thing.
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
what I was
Cheap
going
old
to say.
Scottish lager, Tennant's.
Love it.
It's like, oh, we buy that Scottish lager. That's all she wants. Yeah. Mrs. Miggins.
She will have steak and kidney pies, though.
Oh, yeah, but it'll be made of your enemies.
That's, wow.
Kidneys. Yeah, dude, this is going to be an adult Netflix show that we've created for you new listeners out there. I don't know, some pods ago, we created a whole show for Netflix. Mrs. Miggins Pie.
Come on, England.
So, yeah, I mean, it's all so many of the people you know in England. It's going to be, I mean, it's hard not to root for them if you're a Premier League fan.
And as my ancestry DNA, I am 5% definitely English. So.
5% definitely.
Hey, listen, my 5%, my 235%, they didn't make the World Cup. Central Norway and Ireland, and then there's not a whole lot after that. So I'm going with England, and then my 3% in North Africa, Morocco.
Now, as we move into Group H, is this mine to start?
Sure, why not?
You guys each started one, right?
Sure, why not? Oh, yes, sure. It is, because look at that beer name right there. That is definitely a good one.
Oh, good gosh.
Oh, no, yeah, it is.
All right, folks, as we move on to Group H, or H, because there's an H in it. We move on to Poland. Poland qualified, but they were Group E winners in European qualifying. Their players of note are Kamil Glik, which just makes you think of Jiminy Glick. No, from Martin Short. Does anybody know that character?
Yep.
Lucas
Piszczek,
thank you.
From Borussia Dortmund.
And Robert Lewandowski, a guy we might have heard of.
And probably on the move.
That's true. Going to Arsenal. And
that'd be good with Aubameyang and Lacazette.
That would be.
Not happening.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Their matches, their run of matches will be Senegal, Colombia, and then Japan.
What is just a toss-up group? I know we haven't covered their teams, but what's just a weird toss-up group?
Yeah, this group. Yeah, this
no
is
real powerhouses. Just flip a coin on any of them.
For fun watching here, some of the bars in Orlando. I know who it'll be fun to see win. We'll get to them in a little bit, or to do well in this group. So these folks here, Poland in Group H, they are actually among the top seeds, even though they are returning to the World Cups for the first time since 2006, as far as their group, a top seed in their group. They comfortably topped their qualifying group. And last time they were in knockout stages was 1986.
It's a long time.
Just to give you a view.
They're ranked 10th in the world for FIFA rankings.
Yeah. So this is an interesting group to watch because might float under the radar, but really have some exciting matches that catches the eye of the world. But speaking of the eye of the world, their best beer.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is a good one name.
Yeah, it is.
And by good, I mean I'm going to brutally destroy part of it because I don't know how to pronounce the word SZALIPIW. Slopbill Bubba Extreme Jack Daniels BA. What's BA stand for?
Badass.
It's a quad. It's a Jack Daniels quad?
Yeah.
From Brower Schlappu? I guess that's brewery or what? Ron, we've got to find this. Schlappu Bubba Extreme Jack Daniels
Bubba
quad.
Extreme.
The fact that they brewed a quad with Jack Daniels is super bougie redneck.
Yeah, it is. That's why the word Bubba's in there.
It's like, boy, man, it's Bubba, but this Bubba done made some money on that tobacco field. We don't drink no High Life. We drink the Schlappu Jack Daniels quad.
I like that you just created the bougie version for red.
Yeah.
You might be a redneck.
You know, he's the one sitting there, rocking on the thing going, it's good to have land. Give me another one of them Jack Daniels quads. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they talk. Well, he talks more like Doc Holliday. That's how he talks. Yes. Be a Daisy.
The lazy Southern drawl.
Be a Daisy. Go get me a Bubba Extreme Jack Daniels. How the hell does something in Poland get named Bubba Extreme? We have to. This beer must be found because it's got enough of an English name that there's got to be connection. We need its story. We need its history. We need its flavor.
Oh man, great name.
It's a fantastic name.
Great name.
I mean, it's up there with Throat Punch. Guys, we've got some good beers to
did we get Doc Holliday into this? God almighty. Oh, from Poland, nonetheless.
No, right?
Yep, Poland.
Yeah, we got a Doc Holliday reference. Well, I got 2 guns, so one for each of you.
Kilmer was great in Tombstone.
Oh, he's so good.
Great.
And Val Kilmer's coming back in the sequel to Top Gun, where he's going to play a very puffy person. Because I've seen him lately. But if he gets set on that screen next to
he got stung by a lot of bees,
next to Tom Cruise, it's going to look weird. It's going to look weird.
Yeah, it's like Jabba the Hutt in a flight suit.
Yeah. Hope they don't reenact the scene where he's awkwardly walking around in a towel, you know.
Or the beach scene where they're all playing volleyball.
It's a bunch of old dudes just playing volleyball. That's hysterical. We got Top Gun in here too.
Yeah, I think Poland have to be one of the. I don't even know. It's such a toss up. You got to. I mean, Lewandowski, as long as he scores goals, they're going to advance. Plain and simple. Yeah, I don't know how much further they get past that, but they got a good quad at home.
Dude, they got Bubba Extreme. Extreme. They're gonna make it.
Yeah, a lot of the players on the team didn't have good club seasons. Their goaltender spent the season basically on the bench behind Gigi Buffon at Juve. So I think they're going to have to shake some cobwebs off. And hopefully the international friendlies did that for them. But I think this is another team that's going to struggle a little bit from an identity crisis. But I think, Ferris, you're right, that as long as Lewandowski scores and people get him the ball through the midfield, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, and one of my favorite names in the World Cup, Jakub Blaszczykowski. A great name.
All I know is I want to get a Bubba Extreme shirt made and go watch every game that Poland plays. People are like, what is that dude doing?
What is that? Get me a Jack Daniels.
Who's next? Who in this order?
I have no clue.
It would be you, right? Because Ron did this second one last time, so you did this one.
Okay. All right. I got Senegal. Group D winners in African qualifying. A lot of names actually on Senegal that you would recognize. Trezeguet Gay plays for Everton and had a great year for them. Kouladou Koulibaly, who plays for, I believe, Napoli in Serie A. Czech Coyote plays for, not Coyote, Coyote, and plays for West Ham. And Sadio Mane.
Mane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great. Strong team. Very strong team. Probably the best African squad, either them or Nigeria, coming out of the continent there. Play Poland first. It's probably going to be tough. And they end on Colombia. Again, this is a toss-up group, but I could see them advance. They have a good defense, a strong midfield. That Coyote and Trezeguet Gay midfield, that's strong. I mean, that'll help protect a back four who has some names back there and some big bodies. Then you got Sadio Mane, who had a great year, scored in the UEFA Champions League. If he could put the ball in the back of the net, I think you could see them advance out of this group.
I think the only thing that will break them is I don't know that. I think this team is going to get out-coached a lot because their coach, I think I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Cisse. He has to really get the best out of his team as an attacking side to really get going, but he's not. Well, he's not the fastest coach, and he's not the most tactically minded coach.
And he was just their captain in their previous World Cup appearance. Doesn't really have a whole lot of coaching under his belt.
Correct.
Has only worked with them since 2015 and was on the staff for the under-23 side that participated in the men's football tournament at the London Olympics. So not a whole lot of experience. I think that's what you're getting at is will he be able to tactically coach himself out of any fall behinds or issues that they may get into in this group?
And while he does have a handful of very strong players, his bench is not, the depth is not that strong. So he's really going to have, so players being subbed on is really going to make an impact. So we'll have to watch and see how well that happens and what decisions he makes in order to make the best decisions for the team, I guess.
Yeah. Their beer is a 33 export. It's a pale lager, and it's from Sociedad des Bracilis de Cuesta Yacutan.
I think that's Society de Braceres de la Cuesta Africaine.
SOBA for short. SOBOA.
Should have gone with that one.
Yep. Telling me. Dakar. Was that our first pale lager?
I don't. It might be our first pale lager.
Yeah, I think in the group.
Makes me want to try it.
So.
Interesting. Michoran.
So the next team in Group H is Colombia. A very, very popular team with a die-hard following. They finished fourth in the South American standings, which kind of helped drag them back into World Cup play. So their players of note, Carlos Sanchez, Edwin Cardona, and James Rodriguez. They have a pretty good squad, but those are the players of note. The games that they have, I think they're going to have a pretty easy schedule. They play Japan on the 19th. I think they're going to roll over Japan pretty well. Poland, they'll have a bit harder of a time with on the 24th. And Senegal, I think they'll do okay against on the 28th. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and for me personally, the last World Cup, I enjoyed this immensely. Their fans are so fun. And we have a lot of Colombian visitors and immigrants that live here in Florida. And there is it's actually a Mexican restaurant down near us in Claremont, Florida, where they would gather to watch the games. And they were, you just wanted to join them and watch the matches. They were much fun. All the yellow kits, everything. Everybody's just going nuts, singing. And it was so much fun. Everywhere I ever saw a Colombia game get played, it was a blast to watch all the fans.
Right. Yeah, their fans are always a lot of fun. Always very talkative bunch. They'll tell you everything you want to know. It's so great hanging out with them.
They know everything about their team. Yeah.
Yep. So their best beer out of Colombia from ratebeer.com, I'm going to completely annihilate. It's an American pale ale from Three Cordilleras in Medellin.
I mean, what a few American pale ales we've had. Or do we have another one? But that's another rare one on the list.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I don't think we've had another American pale ale. We've had pale ales, but I don't think there's an American.
I'm genuinely excited for some of their matches because I just want to go. I want to see all the Colombians have a blast watching. That was so much fun to me last World Cup.
Yeah, they were a ton of fun. I think the Colombia team. They have some very good players, and I think they will compete very well. That hasn't been the case in their international play in a long time.
No, but it's a good group for them to be in, too.
Yes, I agree completely. I think their biggest weakness is a lack of international play against big teams, because I mean, they're kind of stuck in South America. There's only a couple of big international teams, but they don't play very many European top teams.
Yeah, it's always tough for South American teams to go across the pond and play on the continent of Europe, Europe and Asia there. So you're right. It's going to be tough for them. I don't think they're not necessarily rolling into this tournament with on a high, on a high level of confidence. They only finished 4th in the South American standings, which I believe is the last spot to qualify. And I think they beat Chile, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be tough for them. And James Rodriguez, who was their breakout star in 2014 and really helped to get them a good ways in the last World Cup, did score 6 goals in qualification. He needs to keep that streak going in order for Colombia to not just get out of the group, but to then win a knockout game or two.
Yep, I agree.
Well, and I think that moves us over to the final one in Group H, which we were just saying, like, I used to live in Japan for a short stint, and Ron goes back and forth to Japan. It's like we should have shared.
I love the country.
I know we should
never been.
Should have shared this, dude. It's the best, man. So Japan, Group B winners in Asia qualifying. Their top players of note are Yuto Nagamoto, Maya Yoshida,
Southampton,
Keisuke Honda, and Shinji Okazaki.
Yeah. The first one's Nagatomo.
Oh, Nagatomo. You are right. I read that wrong. Thank you very much. Yeah, Yuto Nagatomo.
Yeah, no worries.
And their lineup or their schedule is Colombia, then Senegal, then Poland. But here's some unfortunate stat. Their World Cup best was a second round in 2002 and 2010. They are appearing in their 6th consecutive World Cup finals after winning their qualification group, but they did not win any of their 3 group games at the 2014 tournament. So Japan looking to make a turnaround and be competitive, but a lot of pundits have them not being so and kind of ending at the bottom of this group.
Yeah.
Well, if you judge it by any of their friendlies, they're not doing well.
But they have sweet jerseys, I will say. After we look those up,
very cool kits. And they have a lot of talent on this team. Shinji Kagawa plays for Dortmund. Very good, creative player. Had a very good year at Dortmund, so he can almost lead the line there. Osaka, who is Mutu, who plays for Mainz and Germany. Very good forward for them. He put the ball in the back of the net. Again, this is a toss-up group. They're going to have to play well to get out of it. I don't really see them going a whole lot further than that, though.
Yeah, I think they have a brand new coach to their international play, and I think it's going to be a very turbulent campaign for them. I think when they're on, they're really good, but the recipe for their play, other teams seem to break them down very quickly, and the morale from there just hits rock bottom.
And they're scrambling from behind so fast.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a good group for them to be in, but it's going to be a tough road to hoe for the Japanese team. Their beer of note, their top rated beer is, I feel like I've seen this one before, but the Hitachino Nest Espresso Stout. Stout from Kyuchi Brewery in Ibaraki Prefecture. Prefecture is like a state, kind of the way it works. But Nest Espresso, is that like the coffee machine Nest Espresso? I'm thinking, is that like
maybe, I don't know,
partnered with that? But
I don't know.
I did see.
I'll look for it while I'm over there next week.
Well, and I did see it. I didn't grab it, but for one of our upcoming pods, hoping we've got a Japanese game to talk about, I found a cool Japanese beer at one of our local beer shops. While I was out shopping around yesterday. So, but it was not this guy. It's not the Hitachino Nest Espresso Stout. A lot of stouts, man. I definitely stouts won the World Cup for top rated styles,
and mainly
imperial stouts. Yeah.
Dark beers all over.
Yeah, man. The rest of the world, America took a bit to catch up. The rest of the world likes that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And kind of how we'll do our beer bracket is we'll do the picks out of these groups, but we'll wait. We won't do a predictor like we are going to do the World Cup to where we tell you who we think's going to win. We'll hold it. And then after the group stages are done, we'll make our picks on who advances, and we'll just move on with the tournament.
And with any luck, maybe we found a beer or two of these too along the way.
Right. But before we do that, why don't we do a couple of World Cup predictions?
Well, hold on. Don't we need to pick our...
hold on.
Like,
that's right. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
We got to pick our group. Yeah, or like we did on the previous pods.
Yeah.
So this is we're each going to pick our two teams to advance in order, and then our beer.
Yep, in order. And flag.
Oh yeah, and our favorite flag. No,
just for fun.
No flag.
We're not really recording that. Just for fun.
No flag. No
recording
country.
because it's on a podcast, but we're not. I'm not taking note of it.
Do you have a flag? All right. So all right. So Group F. Would you like to start us off there, Mr. Ferris?
Sure, I wasn't really prepared, but why?
Is it hard for you to choose?
Well, I'm trying to. I take the notes and try to get the things together. So just give me.
I'll start then.
No, it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna go with
that was
Germany.
That was ridiculous. Germany first.
Nines. Yes. No. It's not. It's no.
Yeah.
I will go Germany. I really wish Latin was there so I can go with Sweden, but I think I'm gonna go with the Mexico. And then my two beers of choice, I'm going to go with the Boo Throat Punch from South Korea as my number 1 seed coming out of this group, just because of the name alone. And it's an Imperial IPA. Sounds good. And then I will go probably with the choices. I do like Mexican beers, but I like the lagers, right? I'm a Pacifico guy. I'll go with the Doppelbock out of Germany.
Celebrator from Anger.
The Celebrator. That was one with the goat.
Yep.
Because I haven't had it yet, and you say it's good, so
it's good, man.
I'll put that in the old picks.
Well, I'll go in here. So Group F, it's Germany, Mexico. Boom, boom. And my top beers are the Anger Celebrator, Doppelbock, because as I said, I've had it, it's awesome. And dude, ain't no way I ain't going to Boo Throat Punch.
Boot Throat Punch. Sounds like a place in.
I will say it does say the Booth Throat Punch, but when I first read it, I thought it said the Boot Throat Punch, like boot the head. Like that's like what I was thinking.
Man, Royal Canadian Air Force reference.
Yep. Rick Snegnard. What is that Rick thing?
Rignard.
Had you picked the Boot Throat Punch for you, Blake, you'd be going up in a first round matchup against the Degustator.
Oh, that'd be a tough one. But
I am going up against the Degustator in my first round match. The redneck face off from Switzerland and
Rumble.
Yeah, from Switzerland and what's this one from? Switzerland and South Korea.
Oh, sorry, South Korea.
Now for my top flag.
I want to go top flag.
Did you top flag?
I did not.
Oh, I'm going to say South Korea. I like their flag.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll go Sweden.
All right, Ron, what's your Group F?
Germany, Sweden.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Mexico falters on the fact that they can't score goals.
Okay. I like it. Your beers.
So the top beer is going to go Ye Old Throat Punch.
The Old Throat Punch.
No, Ye Old.
Ye Old, yeah, you just made it into an English beer.
And then the Celebrator from Germany.
Throat Punch.
And then the flag is going to be Sweden because I just like that classic Nordic flag with the cross.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to Group G. I'll kick this one off. Group G, I think I'm going to roll with.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, this is a little tough. Belgium, Tunisia. England falls in the press. Just like collapsing like a fly in a cupboard. That's 2 Eddie Izzard references now. I'm gonna go Belgium.
So they're not like their tea.
They're not like the tea. They do not push hard enough to be good, hearty English tea. They do not stay in a cup. I'm gonna go Belgium and Tunisia. And for my top beer, it's the Quad from Belgium. There's no way that. I mean, it is one of the hardest.
How do you say that again?
West Veletrin.
West Veletrin.
and from St. Sixtus Brewing, is amazing. So there's my number one for the beer. I'm going to go with, I really want to try this Dunkel from Tunisia, but England. Ooh,
you already went the Tunisia route.
You know what?
Go with it.
I'm going to go with Old Chimney's Good King Henry Special Reserve. Beers and the chips and the plains.
You have to say it. No, if you say it, you have to say it like Jamie.
Old Chimney's Good King Henry Special Reserve. Beers and the chips and the plain, boys. It's from Suffolk. We'll go with that.
Nicely done.
My favorite flag is England. I love England's flag.
Yeah. Not Great Britain's flag.
Oh, I'm going to retract that. That. The more I look at the Tunisian flag, it's pretty cool looking.
It's very Star Wars-ish.
Yeah, we'll go with Tunisia. All right. So, boom. Who's next?
Ron.
Belgium, England. Those are my two. And I'm going to stick with that for the beer. West Veletran and, chimneys.
Beers on the chips and the plain.
I'm stuck.
What's funny is that it's called Old Chimney's Good King Henry, because do you remember our Christmas special? Good King, good Harry Kane. Yeah, the whole song about Harry Kane. Yeah. So just made me think of that now. Look at that. Glad you remember the words.
Yeah. What's your flag, Ron?
And I like the Tunisian flag.
The Tunisian.
It is cool looking.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to follow right there in suit with Mr. Keller. I'm going to go Belgium and England as well in that order. And then I'll change it up and I'll go with the Old Chimney's Good King Henry Special Reserve out of Suffolk.
That was Oliver. Can you get some more, sir?
Right. Can I have some more, please?
And then I will go with the one that we had, and it was quite good. Probably should be my number one seed, but I just like saying the English one in an English accent. So that was number one, but I'll go with the, I cannot say this name.
West Veletran.
West Veletran. I don't know why I always want to butcher it. It's like Pulisic to me. Speaking of which, I meant to send you guys a picture today, watching a show today at where we work, and I see a little tight about yay high, which is about, how high is this?
I don't know, because I was going to say it's an audio podcast. Was that 4 foot?
Yeah, a little like 4 foot blonde kid walks up in a 22 Christian Pulisic Dortmund kit. The numbers and the name covered his entire body, but that's cool to see.
Yeah,
here in
cool.
a theme park in Orlando. Not a USA kit, a Dortmund kit from Christian P. Love seeing it.
Awesome.
Boom. That moves us to Group H.
England's my favorite flag.
Oh, my favorite flag. Group H, Ron, you want to kick us off?
Sure can. Group H, I think you're going to see Colombia and Poland.
Oh, Colombia won, though. Poland, too. All right.
Yep.
And what's your beer?
The beer is going to be Bubba Extreme Jack Daniels.
Bubba Extreme.
Wait, are we picking two beers?
Yeah, we are. That one's just so cool that it takes both slots.
Yeah, it takes both slots. Yeah.
And then I'm going to go with the Hitachino Nest Espresso Stout from Japan.
That sounds good. I want that.
Favorite flag?
I'm going to go with Japan.
Japan.
Land of the Rising Sun.
All right, man.
All right, then. I am going to say, I'm going to switch the order. I'm going to say Poland, Colombia for my two teams to move out. And I'm going to say the Schlappill, I wish I knew how to say that word, Bubba Extreme, Jack Daniels, BA. For
Sunday.
My first beer, and I'm going to go with Hitachino Nest Espresso Stout for my second. That does sound good. And my favorite flag, it's Nihon, dude. It's Japan.
All right. I'm going to go with...
I'm glad we had a beatbox section there.
I was in my own little world there for a second. I'm going to go with Colombia, number one, and I'm going to go with Senegal, number two.
Oh,
I think they're the only...
You serious, Clark?
Yeah, I'm serious there,
You
Clark.
Senegal, Clark?
You used to... Damn it. Such a dad. Oh, I will go with the proverbial number 1 seed, Bubba Extreme. And then I'll go, oh, God, I don't know. I'll actually go with the 3 Cordilleros.
Oh, the American Pale Ale from Colombia?
Pale Ale from,
I thought about
Colombia,
that, too.
Yeah. I'll go with that. And my favorite flag will be Senegal's. I do like that, the star in the center there.
Boom. So we are set now for all our group picks. So we got some World Cup predictions we want to lay down now.
Yeah, we'll do a few of those and then we'll fill out our World Cup bracket.
So they're going to be your dark horse team, the biggest shock of the tournament, and the golden boot. Do we want to go one in order at a time each?
Sure.
All right, Ferris, who's your dark horse team?
I think I said it in the last pod. I think Serbia. I think Serbia can have a good run in this World Cup. As long as they get out of it, because they're in the group, remember, with Brazil, Costa Rica, and Switzerland, which I do think they will, they come out and they'll come out as probably the number 2 seed, which means they could play Germany. They could also play Mexico or Sweden or South Korea. So I think they upset whoever's coming out of that group, possibly an upset, and then they advance. So I like Serbia as my dark horse team. The biggest shock of the tournament. I think I also had this in a previous pod, maybe the first one we did. I don't think Portugal advances out of the group stages.
Yeah.
And that they won the European Championship, so there would be no reason why they wouldn't. And they're in a group filled with Iran, Spain, and Morocco, but I don't think Portugal makes it out. And then Golden Boot winner, I will go with my jersey selection and Antoine Griezmann. I think he's been on a good run of form. France, I think, have a very good chance to win the tournament. And I think Griezmann will put the ball in the back of the net quite a bit. So where's my 1, 2, 3?
Oh, that's going to be hard to argue against for Golden Boot. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. All right, here I will go. What was the first question again? I was
dark horse team.
Dark horse team. I'm gonna say my dark horse team is going to be. I think I'm gonna go with Mexico. They go a bit further than we thought that they were gonna go.
You serious, Clark?
I'm serious.
Okay.
No. Are we saying dark horse as in win the whole thing?
No. However you want to.
But they do.
All right, I like it.
I'm not calling that my biggest shock. I think my biggest shock of the tournament.
Because those technically could be the same.
True. My biggest shock of the tournament is that out of a tough group, Iceland it gets out of Group D. That's my big shocker. And then for the final, which is my golden boot, it's really. It's hard to.
You got the beard in there.
It's hard to argue.
Lumbersexual.
It's true. I could go with the lumbersexual.
You got Messi in there. Ronaldo's in here. Sergio Aguero.
I don't think.
Thomas Müller. Got a lot of options.
You know, we also have Neymar floating around in there.
You got the old Neymar up in there. That's not a bad.
You know what, though? There we go. I like that. Brazil coming back for revenge after 7-1 getting knocked out of being able to go to the final in their World Cup in their own home. Neymar, who caught a lot of crap in that last World Cup for not producing as much. He's your Golden Boot winner.
And had a very good Olympics. It's only 2 years ago, right?
Yep. So, I'll go with Neymar.
Okay. All right.
All right. What you got, Ron?
You bastard stole a lot of mine.
Oh, come on.
My biggest shock is Japan gets out of group play.
Yeah. What's your next?
Yeah, you keep us in suspense here.
Dun, 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 just building the tension.
Well, you got me scared. I was scared we lost connection again. I was like, wait, we still got you?
Sorry. I think Neymar is your Golden Boot winner.
Skipping around, okay.
I think he comes out on fire and just plows through the tournament.
A lot of revenge.
Yep. And then the dark horse team is I'm staying true to Iceland.
Yeah, buddy. Skål. We're going to be drinking a lot of Icelandic beer, I feel like.
Hold on. No, hold on a second here, Ron. Hold on.
What?
Let me rewind it back to last pod. You didn't think Iceland got out of the group. How the hell could they be your dark horse?
Well, but that's...
No, you predicted they... What? That doesn't make sense, though.
Sure it does. No one else, the dark horse team, no one else thinks that they're going to get out of group play.
Not even you.
That's how dark the horse is.
That's apparently.
I have a little bit... I don't think, isn't that the whole point of Dark Horse? I don't think that they're going to get out of group play, but that would be a Dark Horse team that makes it out.
Yeah, but it's not that you don't think so. It's that everybody else doesn't think so.
Yeah, but then if he doesn't even think so, then that's even more Dark Horsey here.
That's a mind f*** all of a sudden.
That's a Dark Horse here is what that is.
That's a black hole team. Because...
okay. I mean, listen, yeah, I'll put it down. That's
I did.
Just somebody, yeah. All right, give me a second here to tabulate what are the teams that we had.
Put it all together.
Yeah.
While he is doing that, because we'll be wrapping up this pod shortly. You can follow us on Twitter at Brewtiful Game. You can follow us on Untapped, which has been super awesome for learning about some new beers, especially following Ron on his round the world trips. Find us on Facebook. Easiest thing to go to the website, thebrutifulgame.com. You can also drop us a line on there through an email, what have you. However you listen to us, whether it's Stitcher or Apple Podcasts, but if you get a review of us or you do a review of us, please take a screenshot of it, email it to us or send it to us on social media. We'll get a magnet and maybe some koozies to you. I think we have still got a couple of magnets left, not too many left. You can listen to us on All In Sports. If you go to Twitter to All In Sports or allinsportstalk.com, at All In Sports Talk, they, along with several other soccer shows that you'll be able to discover, get played live, recorded, but they play like a radio station on a rotation throughout the day. I think that about covers it. Matt from Atlanta. Looks like he'll be coming down, spending some time in Orlando. One of our listeners excited. Hope we can get together with him on Wednesday. Maybe watch the Orlando game at the Crooked Can. Is the hope. You will not be back yet, though, right, Ron?
Nope, I'm not back in the States until the 16th.
Okay, all right. Well, we are Ferris. I'm going to do our best to try to get out and go hang out with Mr. Matt from Atlanta.
We are. Yes, we are.
Ferris, if you have the results tabulated.
I almost do.
You're killing me. I feel like I did a good stretch.
I know. It's when you have to mix the F's and the F1s and that's not. It gets a little bit making sure that everything is accurate.
Oh, I got you.
We can always post it on social media and then talk about it next pod.
Oh, this is very true.
Well, yeah, but these are our these are our predictions. And
also, as we've done with the previous 2 World Cup preview episodes, we will put up a table that'll be attached to the blog for this particular episode that will show you the top rated beers and that kind of thing. So especially any beers that we butchered the pronunciation of, you could actually read how it's properly spelled and find yourself that beer possibly somewhere. And if any of our listeners stumble across any of these beers and get a chance to try them, let us know, please. That would be really sweet to see, because I mean, I know we can get here in Florida, but the way distribution works, who knows? Maybe you can get some of these beers that we can't out in California, especially some of the Japanese, like the Japanese beer. You might be able to get that out there, not here. So, Ron, you got to try to find that while you're in Japan next week. Yeah,
definitely.
Okay,
I'm going for it.
Let's do this, Mr. Blake. We are going to start off with you. Okay,
hit it.
You ready? Your first round matchups. Just kind of quick fire 'em at me here. Egypt versus Portugal. Who you got?
Egypt, Portugal. I'm going to go with Portugal.
Cool. France, Iceland.
France.
Yep. Brazil, Mexico.
Brazil.
Belgium, Colombia.
Belgium.
All right. Spain and Uruguay.
Spain.
Argentina, Denmark.
Argentina.
Germany, Switzerland.
Germany.
Poland, Tunisia.
Oh, Tunisia.
Tunisians. All right, that's your first round there. Okay, so now we'll skip on over to Mr. Ron, who will go down his picks First one up, Uruguay and Portugal.
Uruguay.
All right. France and Costa Rica.
France.
Brazil and Mexico.
Brazil.
Belgium.
Against.
It was against Poland, but that's okay. Fair enough. All right. Let's go over to the other side. Spain versus Egypt.
Spain.
Argentina, Denmark.
The
upset. I like it. Germany and Serbia.
Germany.
Okay. And then you will have Colombia versus England. Okay. Now, I'll go through mine rather quickly.
I love we got like a bookie on staff now.
Egypt, Morocco, the North African. I will go. I'll go with Morocco. France, Argentina. Who I have? I'll go France. Brazil, Mexico. I'll go Brazil. Belgium, Senegal. I will go Belgium. All right. Spain, Uruguay. I like Spain. Croatia, Denmark. I will go with the Croatians. Germany, Serbia. I'll go with my dark horse. I'll go with Serbia on that one. Don't think that's going to be true, but we'll go with it. Colombia, England. I will go with England. All right. Back to Mr. Blake. Next round. This would be the quarterfinals. No, I'm sorry. The semifinals. You have Portugal versus France.
France.
All right. Brazil versus Belgium. Ooh.
Brazil. They're on a warpath. They're upset.
I can't just put B. I have to actually put
Brazil.
B. Okay.
Yeah, it's revenge.
Okay.
7-1.
Spain and Argentina. Another powerhouse matchup.
I'm going to go with Argentina.
Okay.
Wow.
Germany, Switzerland.
Germany.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Germany, Tunisia.
Oh, in that case, Germany.
Mr. Ron. Uruguay, France. Belgium, Brazil.
Ah, damn it. Belgium.
No Brazil. Spain, Denmark.
Spain.
Germany, England.
Ooh, that would be a fun one.
And it would be a recap to 8 years ago when the Franklin Lampard goal hit off the crossbar and it didn't actually count.
Right.
Who you got?
Germany.
Okay.
That was a tough one.
Okay. Yeah, I can tell. Okay, I will go Morocco, France. I will go with France. Brazil, Belgium. I will go with Belgium. I don't think the South American team flying over to Russia will get it done. Spain, Croatia. I think we'll go upset city. We'll go with Croatia. And then Serbia and England. I think England will go through.
All right, where are we at now?
We are down to who will actually play for the World Cup. France and Brazil. Blake.
Ooh, good one.
Good one.
Brazil is so angry they lose 5-1 to France.
Not 7-1. They lose 5-1.
Yeah.
Okay, Argentina and Germany.
Germany.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
Yes, Germany.
Yes, you're going to go with it at this point.
Yeah.
Mr. Ron, France and Belgium.
Belgium.
Spain and Germany.
Germany.
Good matchup. I will go France, Belgium. I will go France. And then Croatia, England. I'll go England.
Ooh, Normans versus England. All right, I like it.
I don't think this is going to happen on that side of the group. I've botched up that side of the group, but whatever. Blake, who is your World Cup winner for the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia? France and Germany.
In a really fantastic, stunning match, France wins over Germany.
Okay.
3-2.
I like it. Ron Keller in the 2018 FIFA World Cup against Brazil and Germany. Who you got?
Who am I?
Belgium and Germany. I say that?
Okay.
Belgium and Germany.
That's what I thought.
Sorry.
I'm going to go with the Garden of Eden. And Belgium takes it in a 1-1 win in PKs.
Ooh. Keeps you hanging on and wanting more. I like it. I got France versus England. I got France.
Yeah.
I really don't think England's going to make it to the final game, but hey, whatever. We're going to go with it. The 2 Frances and a Belgium. Sounds like the start of a good joke.
Yep.
That's our picks.
Wait, did you get your other side?
No, France wins it all. That's who
okay, gotcha.
England was on the other side. That's the side that I botched up completely. But yeah, so 2 Frances and a Belgium.
Well, we'll see who does the best out of this.
Yeah,
it's all going to go to hell very fast,
real quick.
We're not going to get any of these right, probably,
real quick.
But we'll get these posted online as well, so you can see our picks for the 2018 FIFA World Cup.
We'll get all the beer information and the country information, and we'll get these picks up as well. And if you want to send yours in, feel free to do so.
And then what you were talking about, once we get past the group stages, we will then pick our beers, because then we'll be because the beers don't actually compete. We're just doing this for fun. So I think that's
the beers don't compete.
Mixed up on.
Well, they do, but we're saying we'll do it after
the group stages, since we're not having to pick.
I'm kidding. Yeah. I'm kidding.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
Degustator. It's a final Degustator Bubba.
Is that your dark horse beer?
No, Degustator Bubba Extreme. That's the World Cup in Decatur, Georgia.
Actually, you could have it. They're on either side of the bracket. You could have it.
Awesome. Rod, it was good to actually get you on the whole pod, even though you're all the way overseas today.
Yeah, it's rare, but it happens.
We will let us know when you get into Japan, and we'll set up what we're going to do this for our next go-round. World Cup kicks off this Thursday. 11 a.m. here Eastern time where we're at. I think we're going to try to take a lunch and at least catch the second half of Saudi Arabia and Russia kicking off the World Cup. I think that covers us, gents.
Yes, our World Cup preview has ended.
We wrapped it up, our first World Cup preview. All right, here we go.
Somehow got through it.
Love the beer. Cherish the game. The Brewtiful Game.
The Degustator.